So anyway, we're live once again. So, today's episode we're going to be talking about the Joker movie, the crazy mass hysteria that other media outlets have been doing. Talking about the controversy of the Joker and all these other crazy things. But also, we are going to be talking about Batman comics, Tom King's discovery of the word fuck. So, let's get the intro going, shall we? So, anyway, to kick off the show, let's talk about Joker. I talked about the episode Joker and how many crazy media outlets have been going crazy over it. To the point where CNN, the fakest news of fake news, you are fake news, created these articles saying that Joker movie will create white genocide, violent crimes, and it's a pro-Trump movie. The thing I notice is how they are freaking out over this movie. How they're freaking out about it. And, of course, yesterday's episode, if you listened, if you didn't, check it out after the show. I talked about how Joker movie has more of a message that people are looking at. Mental health. Violence. And it really doesn't have to involve gun violence. I mean, gun violence is bad. And I'm one of those people who, I don't have a gun, and would I say take a gun away from somebody who is responsible? No. You know, people have the rights to have a gun. Let them have the gun if they want it. You know, who am I to say, like, that person who's responsible, who has a gun safe and everything, should have their guns taken away because some person decided to be a fucking idiot. I know Tom King is it fun to say fuck? It is fun to say it. But I will talk about that later. So, the Joker movie is one of those films that I said yesterday that it's a film that is a wake-up call for everybody to see. We've become so paranoid, so insane, to the point where somebody will go berserk. I mean, you look at New York, and I will pull up this article. Recently in New York, a man murdered 3 homeless people. Now, did the Joker film cause that murder? No. The man never seen the Joker. But we are at the point where the media is going to try to point out Joker movie did this and this and this. You know, like they used the Aurora, Colorado shooting, which was fucking horrifying. But is it a movie's fault? No. It isn't a movie's fault. That guy was insane. He was going to do this with or without a Batman movie involvement. And here's the thing about it. Joker is a bad villain. And I know nowadays, like, people think of Joker, they think of the Batman animated cartoon or the Arkham video games. Joker's done a lot of serious shit in comics. He shot Barbara Gordon and sexually assaulted her. He skinned a man alive in the Joker comic. He beat Jason Todd with a crowbar and blew him up. Joker is a fucking maniac. So you can't just say, like, well, Joker is a friendly, funny jokester criminal. Yeah, that's Cesar Romero. But the Todd Phillips Joker has more of a problem than just going, I'm gonna go kill some people. He doesn't just do that. He is brought to the breaking point of, like, going insane. It's like watching an egg boil. It's what it is. You're just watching and watching and watching until it becomes, no more. This movie is a really good film to give a message. I mean, sometimes you have to look at the truth, and sometimes it isn't pretty. This movie is basically telling the truth of what's going on in today's society. I mean, if you look at the news today, people are divided. People are divided. And it is scary the way the world is. I mean, I'll admit, I'm fucking terrified to go to the city at times, because you don't know what's out there. And it is terrifying to go out alone. I mean, shit. There's some things that's going on in the world that the media isn't covering. Now, would they cover this murder of 3 homeless people? No. Why? Because it doesn't appeal to them. People who are homeless aren't pretty to cover. They aren't scandalous. They don't have no Ukraine ties, so we can't cover it. The media is a lying machine. Does Brian Stelter really care about people like you and me? Hell no. Why? Because we ain't Trump. I mean, this movie, Joker, is a movie that I will praise. Have I seen this movie? No. I will soon. But I like it. I like how people are scared of it. Triggered by it. It's a good movie. We need more movies like Joker. I would love to see a fucking Batman movie that's sort of like Joker. I would love to see a Batman where Bruce Wayne is homeless and he decides to become a vigilante that everybody fears. That's a good movie. I would write that movie. Because it would be great. People today are so triggered. They're so tender that it's hilarious. I am happy that Todd Phillips made this movie. I'm happy that Joaquin Phoenix, who's one of my favorite actors, played one of my favorite villains. I mean, you look at Joker and Suicide Squad. I was not happy with that movie. People just get worse. They do. They do. Especially the news media people. I never been blocked by so many people in the news media before. I actually find that amusing. But this movie, Joker, needed to be made. You look at Leto's Joker. It was just a pretty boy actor shaving his eyebrows, putting on makeup, looked like he's auditioning for a spot in Marilyn Manson band. This Joker is a guy who society ignored, who did not pay attention to his problems, his mental well-being, and he just went crazy. That's the Joker. I mean, you look at Killing Joke. As much as I don't care for Killing Joke as a comic book, I just love the Joker's origin. I didn't really care for Barbara Gordon being shot and paralyzed because I really like Batgirl. I really like the Batman family dynamic. But I love the origin. He was a guy who nobody really paid attention to. He was a guy that people really could look at and not really remember him until he just had one bad day and just went crazy. That's how Arthur Fleck was. He was a guy that people just ignored and mistreated until he just, went crazy. That's today's society. If you ever look at people who have problems, they get pushed away and be like, don't worry, push them away and not worry about them until one day, boom, they went crazy. And if you ever look at, I know this is going to be a touchy subject, and yes, my video did get pulled down because once I talked about the school shooting, pushed down, taken down. So, I'm going to talk about it. So, you look at, I know this is going to be a weird subject, but I am putting two and two together. I'm holding them, by each other to talk about Joker and school shootings. You look at kids who become school shooters, which is a horrible fucking thing. Horrifying. On both sides. The victims, the kids who were injured are tragically taken out. Not taken out, but taken away. Sorry about that. Taken away from everybody who could be the future leaders and everything. And you look at the kid who, did it. Kids today aren't taken care of, taken care of and not listened to by adults. If you look at, for example, that school shooting, what the fuck those kids' names are? Those kids who became like the poster child of anti-gun thing, and everybody from politicians to celebrities to whoever praise these kids, how brave, how bold they are. They didn't realize that those kids were the ones who were causing the shooter to go crazy. Those kids were bullying that kid. And of course, the one girl who had a shaved head said he got what he deserved. He deserved it. And it's like, you look at that and you're like, are we in that society where kids say the shooter got what he deserved? It's like, if you say that, then what are you saying about the victims? You're saying nothing. And Arthur Fleck went crazy because society in Gotham, the